Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, PlayStation Vita, N64 and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with some custom drivers. If you've got a Snapdragon CPU, you might be excited to know that there are some brand new custom drivers out there. And reportedly, they play very nice with Yuzu. So if you take a look on this website, and I'll drop a link in the description below in the event that you wanted to check it out, the Mesa Turnip driver version 23.2.0 revision 4 is out. Now it's worth pointing out that using custom drivers is completely experimental and performance may vary, compatibility may vary. So use these at your own risk and don't put too much faith in them that they're going to solve all of your problems. On a side note here, if you've got a Mali GPU, completely forget about using custom drivers. They will not work. And on a side note, these custom drivers also work with Vita3k and Skyline, and it's a great repository for a whole bunch of different drivers. And speaking about Vita3k, next up we're quickly talking about Vita3k. And if you play a specific game, which I'll show you in just a second, you may be excited about this update. You can pick up the latest and greatest version of Vita3k right at vita3k.org and click on download. You can get it for Windows, Mac, Linux, and even Android. Anyways, the fixes for color and faces in a Hyperdimension game. When I read Hyperdimension, I immediately thought of DBZ Hyperdimension on the SNES. Unfortunately, it's not for that game. It's for To Love RUBE, which I have no idea what this is, but at the same time here, this is the before and this is the after, and I guess arguably it's looking a lot better. Moving on, and we're still talking about the PS Vita, and this time about a game that's been ported over. It's called Superfluous Returnz. It's on GitHub, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Now, this is very much a work in progress. Version 0.5 just released, and they say here you can properly play the demo version of the game, but if you do play the full game, you will eventually run out of memory, making the game unbeatable. If you've never heard of Superfluous Returnz, I don't blame you. It's a point-and-click adventure. It is available on Steam, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. As of this moment, it's sitting at a positive rating with 16 reviews overall. Next up, we're talking about N64 emulation on PC with RMG. RMG stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Rosalies Mupen GUI, depending on how you want to interpret that. Anyways, RMG just got a brand new update. So as of this video, version 0.4.3 is the latest version, and we've got a whole bunch of fixes here, and in addition, add Xeno Crisis to the ROM database. So if you're asking, can RMG run Crisis? Well, it kind of can. Xeno Crisis. And speaking about running Crisis, next up we're talking about something that doesn't run Crisis. This is a brand new retro gaming handheld called Super Pocket, and it's from HyperMegaTech. This thing will be on pre-order starting July 14th and will be priced at about $60 overall. And it does play Evercade games. It also appears there will be some limited edition versions of the Super Pocket going for considerably more money. And this one is crystal green, I think? Crystal colors, yeah, crystal green and crystal blue. Honestly here, the starting price of $60 to me is an attractive price point. I've got no idea how these are going to do for emulation, but I am curious. And speaking about being curious, check out this very weird retro gaming handheld called the TJD T10. So I saw this tweet today and it says, "What is it? I can't unsee this portable console and neither can you. Does anyone know if it's real or artificial intelligence?" I mean, they're proposing it's going to have an AMD Ryzen 7 7840U in it, and quite a bit of RAM as well, 1632 and a whopping 64 gig. So anyways, I did some digging and yes, this appears to be real, and there appears to be 3 different colorways for this. Someone says this looks like a Fisher-Price device, and that's all I can see now. A very powerful Fisher-Price device, but I mean, this color scheme here screams Fisher-Price. And taking a quick peek at the specs here, and it looks like there's going to be 2 different versions, one with the 7640U and one with the 7840U, and both are running Windows 11. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Are you interested in it? Are you not interested in it? And what are your thoughts on this overall design? Moving on, and if you're a fan of new physical releases of classic games, you may be excited to know that Limited Run Games just had their Summer Game Showcase, and they showcased quite a bit. One of the most talked about items was the Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection. This one contains Jurassic Park for the Game Boy, NES, and SNES, and also Jurassic Park 2 for the Game Boy and SNES, so 5 games in total. They also unveiled a Gex trilogy, Gex Enter the Gecko, and Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko all in one game. And interestingly enough, a Shantae game that never saw the light of day, Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. This game was cancelled and now brought back for the first time. And speaking about bringing stuff back, next up we're talking about Team Fortress 2, which just got a brand new update. This one features 14 new community maps, 25 new community contributed items, 6 new taunts, and 20 new unusual effects. I'll drop a link to the changelog in the description below and feel free to check it out. And speaking about checking stuff out, this game fell onto my radar today and I do recommend checking it out. It's called Dave the Diver. It's an indie game here and it's got an overwhelmingly positive reception with a whole heck ton of reviews. It's currently on sale for 10% off and I am very interested in this one. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Have you played it? What are your thoughts about it? And speaking about thoughts, if you're one of those people who like to say bad things to other people when you're online gaming and you get angry, well, you might want to keep those thoughts to yourself. Xbox is introducing a brand new voice reporting feature and it can record what you're saying and be used against you. Next up here, this is a real quick heads up. If you're currently using Linux and on kernel 6.3, you may want to update as soon as possible. 6.3 was released in April, but it's already reached end of life. 6.4 is what you want to migrate to. And speaking about migrating, this one is absolutely wild. Betrayer has somehow migrated over to GOG and is 100% free. If you remember this game that released back in 2014, well, you can get it free now on GOG. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.